Back to Lem's Cryptoverse. Today, as you can see, I'm working in another venue, if you want to call it that way. And so don't mind the sloppiness. So today we're going to talk about just one data point. And what I wanted to stress today was that when you look at a chart, always think about what's behind the chart and what it means. And I'm going to give you an example. So we're going to talk about one major data point, and that's it. And here it is. It's basically what happened after FTX, right? FTX went bust, everyone got scared, and what did they do? Let me just fix this a little bit. They bailed out. They basically got out of all the coins. They've been selling their coins like crazy, and as a result, they're taking coins and tokens off of exchanges, especially Bitcoin. So that's what I want to talk to you about. That ever since FTX drama and the bankruptcy of one of the largest CEXs, centralized exchanges in the world, after that, everyone got scared and they're running for the hills and they don't want to be on centralized exchanges anymore. So what are they doing? They're removing tokens and coins, whatever, from centralized exchanges and putting them into mostly hardware wallets. And there's all different versions of that, right? Hardware wallets, software wallets, web wallets. But basically, they're removing the coins, especially Bitcoin, off of exchanges. And here is the main chart I want to show you from GlassNode. It's exchange net position change all exchanges. And you can see, I'm going to maybe minimize myself, move the video to the left. You can see there's been about between 150 and 170,000 coins, basically Bitcoin, being removed off of exchanges per month, according to GlassNode. And another version of that is this. This is called Bitcoin exchange balance and net position change. So the difference between this one and the last one is that it's showing you the net balance on all exchanges. And I'm going to be looking at the video, at the screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. So in the green, you could see when there's Bitcoin going on the exchanges, it's above zero, and when those green bars are below zero, obviously those exchange outflows. And according to this data point, this chart might be a week, 2 weeks before the other chart that I gave you. So it's showing a different number for exchange outflows. It's showing 106,000 BTC per month. But whatever it is, it's huge. And then you could see there was a huge Bitcoin outflow in April 2020 during COVID, November 2020, and then in June, July when Bitcoin declined sharply. And over here it's shown all exchange balances. So that's including all the exchanges, basically like Binance, Coinbase. So we had a 73,000 decline in the Bitcoin balance. I think that's like the last few weeks. I'm trying to remember. Or actually may even be the last week due to the FTX drama. So the main thing I want to tell you is that you need to look behind the numbers, behind the chart to see what it means, and to think about what conventional wisdom means. Here's what I'm saying. This chart is showing, it always shows when there's an exchange balance that's declining, it always means it's a bullish thing, right? Because when customers are taking money off of exchanges, that means they're hodling, right? They're holding on to the Bitcoin tightly because they don't need to put it on exchanges. You only put the Bitcoin on exchanges when you want to sell it, right? Right? Because you take it out of your cold wallet and you put it onto the exchanges, unless you're using a DEX. So this is a bullish sign like 99% of the time. But here's the thing. In this case, you have to think of it behind the numbers. You got to think of it in context. The reason why Bitcoin is leaving and fleeing exchanges is because investors are worried shitless that another exchange, maybe Binance, maybe even Coinbase, may go bankrupt. We just don't know. So this is not necessarily a good thing. It's not a good thing. That's my point. And the next chart is shown Ethereum. I'm focused on Bitcoin, but the same thing is happening with other coins. And this is Ethereum. You could see it dove. There was a 608,000 decline in Ethereum on exchanges. It's just huge. It's just amazing. Actually, this is, I made a mistake. This is on the FTX exchange. That's why there was a 99.5% decline in Ethereum on that exchange. But if you look at Ethereum on other exchanges, you would also see a huge decline. And going back to Bitcoin, what's happening now is it's not just small investors that are removing coins off of exchanges. There are older coins and whales that are also removing coins. Not only that, but they're spending it on exchanges. So they're actually exiting their Bitcoin balances, and that's pretty rare. That usually happens when there's basically big money that's worried, and there's basically capitulation in Bitcoin. So this could be seen as a good sign. So when old coins are being spent, that's actually a good sign that even the whales are worried, and they're starting to capitulate. And the last one I think is a similar chart. Well, yeah. The previous one was shown Bitcoin old coin volume. So basically any coins greater than 6 months, these are being spent. But now we want to see what's the net holdings. If you go to the next chart, and this is the last one I'm going to show you, this is the total supply held by long-term holders. And it shows you the net numbers. So you could see it and I'm circling here with my mouse, you can see there's been a big decline of long-term supply let's see, from 13.8, it basically went down 84,000 Bitcoin. And hopefully I'm reading this properly, but basically what I'm trying to say is there's been a big decline by the whales. And so they've been spending their coins because they're exiting Bitcoin. They're scared. But on the positive side, like I said earlier, these are whales capitulating. You could see that this happened during the Terra Luna crisis of May, June, and it also happened during a June sell-off. And so there is some signs of spring. There is some signs that there's capitulation. But as I said earlier, I don't believe the crypto winter is over because the stock market, meaning S&P, is too high. The S&P has been rallying over the last month from something like 3,600 S&P up to over 4,000. I think we'd even get to 4,200 S&P. So we're not going to hit a bottom in Bitcoin until the S&P declines dramatically, and that may happen in the next month or two. So just be careful out there. So again, I hope you learned something from what we talked about here, meaning you need to interpret. We all need to interpret what these charts are really meaning. Sometimes they say one thing, but sometimes they say the other thing. And so my point here, just to repeat for the 10th time, is that it's usually good when coins are leaving exchanges, but in this case, it's fear of bankruptcy, so it's not necessarily a good thing. Well, thank you all for listening, and please come back to Lem's Cryptoverse, and put in the comments if you want me to talk about something specifically. Thank you. Bye-bye.